haven't actually settled in on the name for the show. I think I'm going with Sparrow Vision News. Um, but I want to shop it around. Like I want some feedback from my team, from subscribers. Like I like Sparrow Vision though. Um, I think that's a good name for the show. Today we're gonna have Jim Green on to talk about some stocks, and then later this evening when the show comes back around, right after the bell, we're gonna have Kevin Wilmot um, come and do some futures trading with you guys. So definitely tap in for that. Let me make sure this is turned down. There. Just can't hear it. But as far as I know, I'm pretty sure like the full setup is all like work together. Now that's really why I've been waiting to launch this new show because I wanted the quality to be super high and I wanted the setup to be super consistent um, for this. So as you can see, we have up above my head, you can see some different prices of some assets. Same thing down below at the bottom of the screen. That's like real time updating of those percentages. So just we always keep a just keep that right there just to stay in the loop while we're live. But over here, I just got into an entry on your USD. Let me show you really quickly. So this pullback here is where is what I just where are you at? Right there. I had to come over here and put it on the chart. Is where I just got it at, and I meant to send that. I think I sent it to the chats. Where's my phone device? Sorry, chat. I think I left one of my phones in my room. Give me 2 seconds. Hey, I have lost one of my phones. Um, I want to call it, but at the same time, if I do, I don't know if it'll mess up the stream over here because it's connected. That phone's connected to my MacBook, so there's that. Chat, what just happened? Did I? No. Un momento, chat. We're calling it now. I don't. That is the camera is on. Okay. When you change this diaper, did you do it? I changed them. Here. Boom. ¿Cuándo es mi teléfono? Right. Just bloop. What the fuck? What? Yeah, I don't think me looking behind you has done anything because that motherfucker disappeared. Oh, um, I'm about to do find my MacBook, and I think it'll make that dinging noise. It'll make the dinging noise? Okay, bet. Let me see. Sorry, chat. I gotta What I'm gonna do here is go on the Find My on my MacBook real quick. Um, and enable my iPhone devices. Just iPhone. Do you hear anything? I hear it. What the fuck? It's black, so I couldn't see it. It was at the bottom of this. Oy vey. Oy vey. Oy vey. That was stupid. To say the least. Oh man, that was so stupid. Hey Jim, can you hear me? Yeah, I can hear you. I'm live already, but I had to find one of my phones, and stupidly it was like in the I had it let it slip down in one of the pockets of my baby's crib while I was changing him earlier. So I had to. Oh man, oh man. Oh geez. Gotcha. See, I've been meaning to get one of those cases where like you can put cards in the back and then put like an air tag or something, so it'll be easier. Now, granted, I have like it connected to my MacBook, so we could just I played the sound on it so I could find it, so it's not too much of a hassle. But I don't know why I didn't think of doing that immediately, but for some reason I thought it would just be like laying around somewhere, and it was just like nowhere. But chat, what I was about to get into was the fact that. Oh, go ahead. What were you saying? I was gonna go until like about probably 9:30, 9:45 ish, and then hand it over to you. For you to go into um whatever you had to go into. Um, as long as you'd like, honestly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then because the show will wrap up after. Okay, yeah, that's perfect. Because after you, it kind of the markets die down, so the show will kind of go to an intermission, and then it'll ramp back up 5 o'clock with Kevin, and then myself just closing it out. But for sure, for sure. And then what it'll do is I'll just when hand it over to you, I'll take myself out of the scene and then add you and your. Oh, I'm pretty sure you can do it from your end. You can just add yourself um, into the places that I have, and then when we do, that's why I have this kind of blank space down under myself. So when we all stream, there's enough space for us all to be there currently. But what I was about to get into for the chat was that we had just got into this EUR entry. Now I may have taken it. I ain't gonna lie, I may have taken it a little bit earlier than what I sent to the chat. So I want to check real quick. Um, Nope, that's the same one. Yeah, okay, no, that's the same one. So if I sent it to the VIP or I sent it to the VIP and the platinum chat. So whether if you're in the free VIP or you're in the platinum chat, they should have got that trade. I was gonna set, I set a few pending orders up under like down here. I have like one pending order here, and I think another one down here just because the day might take us. But there's a few reasons, quite a few reasons why we have bullishness on the euro dollar, and I have a tool called the Edge Finder that kind of compiles data for me. And let me switch that over there, and let me share this tab instead. Um, you guys can kind of see that. So you guys can kind of see exactly what's giving me the bullish bias. Let me make sure. So I think it's going to open up another page. I mean, a little bit of a summary. The interest rate divergence favors euro strength with ECB holding rates steady, while the Federal Reserve cuts, creating fundamental support for the USD appreciation toward one what's that 1650 1675 levels. And if we go back on our chart over here, we've already kind of breached those levels, you feel what I'm saying? So it's like the reasonality is already been like, I put it out in the this week's major market breakdown that I just wanted to see like from a price action standpoint. I wanted to see price break through here and then give us a little bit of pullback, if not coming back to give us any entries down here. And that's kind of exactly what we've gotten here. So buys. That's I'm not this is of course not financial advice. I have to say that on every stream. Please risk responsibly. Don't overtrade and definitely don't over leverage. But I am looking to take URUSD to, let me give you my all of my levels. About 18.9 is my extended TP. I'm not. I mean, I think end up getting consolidated in the 17.90, 16.68 area right here. We'll probably get a fair amount of consolidation there, and then when we see like, because what we're getting right now is tailwind from rate cuts, and that's what's pushing us higher on the euro dollar right now. So like this, it'll be mostly priced, this cut at least will be mostly priced in here. So as we see more of the lagging US data come out, and that'll kind of sway how the dollar moves after that. So the real yield is decent, so that could give the dollar a little bit of a tailwind after these cuts. But we'll just see how the data comes out when we get there. And then let's take a look at, let's go over here, switch account. I hate that I have to keep doing that. I just gotta put this whole tab on my other account so it doesn't do that. But let's take a look at AUD USD. Bullish as well from a seasonality standpoint. Retail is short. Retail is usually wrong. Let's see if I can. I think there's. I haven't been using this specific tool for very long, guys, but I have seen it in use, and like a lot of this data is on like a bunch of different websites and a bunch of different pages, so you can kind of see how the inflation data gives it a little bit of a bullish push. Economic growth doesn't give it much of a bullish push, but with the retail sentiment and seasonality combined, with the fact that the dollar is weak, you know, gives AUD some tailwind. So I definitely like to take a look at it. Let me go on. Oops, wrong one. Shut that tab instead. Um, do I have a clean AU chart? That's the question. Uh, Fairly. I think I wanted. I was looking for AU. Like it broke through this last swing high over here. That I had marked. Let me see. Um, if I can make my just a little bit bigger. I had that marked, and it just kind of sailed through it without much of a care. And I guess you can kind of say that little area there was. This is the hourly, so like that was a bit of a pullback. But I think we could stand for another pullback into this area before we take off. So I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait to pull the trigger on AU, and if that proves to be the wrong move, oh well. We're not in a trade, so I mean, not in the trade, so it doesn't really affect our capital, in that case. But I definitely like to see. I can really just get rid of that, just because. Yeah, I price likes this area, and I like this area, so I can make it a bit smaller though. Um, Definitely doesn't need that much room. I think. I think a closure below this would be like nah, but I would love anything in this zone for a pullback. So I'll leave that on like the 15 minute, because it's 8:51. We have 30 minutes until the open. Okay, 40, almost about 40 minutes to the open. Um, I think we may get some push just in a wonky direction, maybe a wick, maybe a 1 hour wick, really long one. AU tends to do that in some cases, like that there, that there, that there. Um, Before it goes somewhere, it gives you a little bit of a wick. So, um, But that this right here may have been that. It may just trickle along here. But I definitely just want just a little bit of a discount. So anything below 65778 anything below that, honestly, I like. And then if it closes outside of 65700, uh then I don't like the buys anymore. It's that feels like it's losing momentum. So I wouldn't like it any further than that. Let me see. What else do we like? NZD USD it's likely a very similar setup. EURGBP is getting a bullish read. It pulled back. It pulled back into some of my entries like wildly. So I want to see exactly what's going on with it. So we're getting an 8 score. All right. COT data, 2 that's the commitment of traders, retail sentiment 1, seasonality, a -1, trend reading. Well, yeah, it's definitely trend is definitely down. So what are the bears saying? The pair faces resistance near let me just go pull up the chart. I'll read that in a second, but I want to just go back and look at the chart real quick. It's been a second since I pulled it up on here. Okay. Okay, no. So it's not. So from a technical standpoint, it's still bullish from here. Like this right here doesn't like say nah. It's bearish now. Um, like its strength is dwindled for sure. But let me see if I can go back over here. Um, that is AU. I don't need that anymore. I don't need that anymore. Okay. Um, I think I went out of the wrong one. Did I go out of the wrong one? Um, sorry, chat. Um, just gonna get back into it so I can see. Um, okay, so one thing I like what initially, just to give you a little bit of context, what initially made me take a look at EURGBP was the fact that like all that stuff was going on with the UK government, and they had to oust somebody. So yeah, it seems like and the ECB is pretty steady, been pretty steady. They've been pretty steady, like I wouldn't say all year long, but for the past like 3 months roughly, um, 4 months, 5 months really, they've been pretty steady. So um, with them, with the GBP being shaky and the ECB being like steady, it's just kind of a not a no brainer, but it's definitely something that'll like likely trickle up for the at least the short term, like 3 to 6, and not the only analyst to see that. Of course, there's other factors here that come into play. Seasonality, off the current 10-year performance, not not great. Um, and then, but the thing is, so like as you can see, let me share over here. This is a very very cool indicator I started using in more recent history. It's called Arena by DGT. It's a volume indicator, and I'm a momentum trader, so like volume is my niche. So you can see here selling volume is pretty low. Buying volume is at 60%. Selling volume or just went up to 70. It's like 70, 72. Selling volume is low. It's like 29.23. So the sellers aren't aren't strong here. The sellers are not being strong here. So I don't think that price is gonna break this. I think this is just a technical pullback to this broken area here. It's just kind of testing out these swing highs right here that were already broken. Uh, Probably gonna just trickle higher. And I mean, if you want to get super technical, it's kind of like a little cup and handle formation to go higher off of. So you got fundamentals, technicals, all say get in there. I am going to find an entry. So let me go over here. So we have another tool. This is called the bird's eye tool. Now this is what I built. The edge finder is not my, like, I didn't build the edge finder. I bought it. This right here, this is my baby. EURGBP. I always like to check and see if there's a fresh momentum read. There is not. So we may get consolidation here. We may leave this area. You know what I'm saying? The bird's eye tool, it's not going to, if you're getting a neutral read, it's likely that price is going to be consolidated for a little bit. And we're out of London. So, it's likely that it'll be consolidated a little bit. We may get a little bit of movement from the NY Open, but for the most part, that tells me that it may not be the best time to take an entry right now. You know what I mean? Because we might just be sitting at price and consolidated for a moment. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get a little bit closer, come down to the 15 minute, look at a little bit of structure. So we got this double bottom here, and it's kind of a triple bottom if you count that separated from that, but it's really just a double bottom. And double bottoms on higher time frames, are a little stronger. We're on the 15-minute time frame, so I think that's probably gonna get broken in the like while it's consolidating back and forth. All right, so I would like entries. Ooh, I hate when it does that. I would like entries down here. Let me show you. Um, if I can get rid of the rest. Keeps going back to the box tool. Okay. If I can get some entries down here on EYGP, let me show you. Under this low, or yeah, if it decides to close on the 30-minute or hourly above that high, because it's made this little consolidation here for a little bit, and I'm gonna trade it accordingly. So we know we're going higher, and we're just gonna wait for price to give us an opportunity to get in, because this looks like it's probably gonna be doing this for a little while. So like I'll probably grab entries down here. You know what I mean? When they hit. But I definitely wouldn't. I'm not going like no crazy entries or anything like that. I'm scaling in very small, and then as price trickles higher, then we're gonna scale in a little bit bigger. All right, so just to kind of, I don't want to make folks jump, because these boxes always makes folks jump. Um, go my 30-minute. It looks probably looks something like this. Um, How much am I? I'm really just risking that last consolidation because of the fact that um, the TPs are all these, honestly. Well, I think 88500 is a bit extended for TP, but like this 88180 and 319 for sure. I would definitely start, like I'd secure it. I'm gonna secure it in profit at 87970 roughly. Um and then we'll go from there. We're gonna be live every 2 days. So we'll check back in and see what exactly is it doing. Um Sorry, somebody called me. I didn't recognize the number. But if I can, gotta make sure that I can actually. Um, I gotta make sure Twitch is working because I know YouTube is good. Okay, yeah, Twitch is good, but it doesn't have my comments show from YouTube, but they don't show from Twitch, and I don't know why. It's live on. It's connected to both of them, but I'm gonna have to figure that out on the back end at some point pretty soon. But let's hop back over here and see what else there is. So Nasdaq is getting switch account. Oh, yeah, I gotta switch my other so it won't make me open a brand new page every time I do that. Um, Now, I don't want to get too deep into this because Kevin's gonna um, probably touch on it, but he's gonna be doing mostly pure trading for you guys. So it'll be less like informational, more technical. But saw a strong rally in December, surpassing 45 for the first time, driven by post-election optimism and strong earnings from some components. Now, I'll say this has been driven by Nvidia. Let's just go to um, this has been super Nvidia, and the thing is, they projected I think like a another 26% increase on Q4 than last year, I believe. Uh, Pretty soon I'll have a fact checker to fact check me when I'm trying to regurgitate information. But if I'm not mistaken, they're reporting that they're about to have some really good earnings now. Whether it's the circular funding story or just the supply story, we're still at the beginning of what is AI and what does it do for us and what is it in our society. We're still at those like beginning stages, very like low adoption to this point as far as like on mass scale. So like I think Nvidia is going to continue to you know smack the ball out of the park. I mean, they've been doing. I mean, the innovations that they've been doing have been long standing for a while. It's like they're worth what they're worth for a reason. It's not. I mean, there are a lot of inflated companies, and it may be slightly inflated, like in here or there, for whatever reason. But um, I definitely think right now, like in let's just go see Nvidia straight up, is definitely undervalued. And like I don't think like it breaking 250 in the next 6 to 8 months is back above it. Like it's not impossible. And I'm not a super heavy stocks person. That's what we have Jim for. But you know there's not a with how low adoption is overall for AI, as more like mass scale people just start using it in general, I mean, their companies like the engine behind it. So, I think as AI grows, just as a thing, they're gonna have to grow with it. So, I'm definitely invested in AI. I wouldn't say heavily, and it's not like super crazy leveraged or anything like that. But I do hold some Nvidia shares, and I love it when they do great. So when I saw that they're projecting their earnings. Definitely made me happy, put a smile on my face. But in lieu of that, you have Nas 100, who reacts very, 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 very strongly to when Nvidia does well. So we have seasonality on our side. The Santa Claus rally, usually happens because of the fact that a lot of firms, institutions, they wanna show that they're invested in the market at the end of the year. So like they want to be able to show like, hey, we're in the markets. So a lot sold, man. A lot of firms sold a whole lot when all this BS was happening. So like retail's been going crazy. I ain't gonna lie. Retail's been like it seems like this year the little guy's been winning like crazy, and I love to see it. But I mean, firms are still gonna sorry, they're still gonna do what they're gonna do. So yeah, technical factors clearly bullish. Fundamental factors super bullish. So all it is just to find you guys an entry. So 908. We just got this fat candle. Let me go check. Let me go check the factory real quick and see what's going on. Mm, Geez, all that. Okay. 908. ISM services PMI uh just came out. It's forecasted at 52.0. Let me share this so you guys can see um exactly what I'm looking at. I'm on Forex Factory. Um let's see if it's gonna okay, so no, we're not getting it. Um well, it's a red folder and it's probably out and it's just not refreshing for me right here. And Nasdaq is likely reacting to that. Yeah, I'm looking over here on my other screen, and like they hadn't updated the fact that Nasdaq wasn't still green. And I looked over at it a few times, like nah, it's not, can't be right, can't be right. Um, definitely down. What 0.3% on us? That's S&P. Um, switch it over. But I mean, I think this might be an opportunity. Let me throw a flip one here and see. I mean, it looks like we're stopping at the 38. It looks like we're stopping at the 38, like currently. No, that's a 50. I mean, shoot. If it stays, if it holds, if it holds, I don't hate it. You know. Um, Let me, because the market is gonna try to, I believe, trend a little. Um, how much selling volume? 84%. That's weird. I'm not gonna buy it. I'm not gonna buy it right now. Um, I love this entry. If I was actually like looking at it and was able to get that entry right there, I think I might get it. Buying volume zero. Okay, I was like, you gotta update that. That's not true. Yeah, this is a perfect. It's almost a perfect entry. I wouldn't say perfect, but I mean, uh, I'll take a small trade. If it's an L, it's an L. But I would like to be in. I would honestly like to be in the market before they open and not still looking. So, hurry. Okay, let me. Ah, happens quick. Don't always get the entry you want. come back some, please. Lead to entry, lead to entry. Ooh, all right, we'll go over there. I like it like that. Da, 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 da. I like it like that. You know what? Wait. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, hey, listen, if this level doesn't, I hate to like be so definitive about stop losses. But when I'm streaming, I don't want you guys to just be like risking whatever. That's why I want to be more definitive. You know what I'm saying? It's like this move here, it could happen on open or it could take all day. But Boeing down 4.4%. Etsy's up though. Etsy's up though. And Nvidia's strong. Nikkei's up. Uh, FTSE 100 is down. DAX is down. Um, hmm, Gold is up. I think. Cause I'm in more profit over here. The gold is up. Well, I mean, not. No, gold is down from open. I'm just up in these entries. I'm just up in these trades. I mean, it's. I guess depending on the session you trade, gold could be up or down right now. You know what I mean? Gold is up for me, but like down if you're like early or late London, early NY. You know what I mean? Um, let's go back over here. Make sure you guys can see. Okay. I didn't want to just throw this up because it's NASDAQ and people, I don't want to be like, I lost my account because your NASDAQ trade. No, you didn't. No, you lost your account because you risked too much. Um, if you have a smaller account, just trade SPX instead of NASDAQ. Like if you can't stand to lose $250, $300 on a single trade, then, you know, that's fine. Just trade SPX, 40, $50, you can make 200. Um, let's see if this level holds, and then I'll say if I'm actually like getting in right now. Hey, right now. Um, just so you guys can see like the entries on Euro USD. Those are the Euro USD entries that I have. Um, I took another the one I just took is on a whole other account. But those are the bottom entries from the bigger box. But let's go actually open up SPX 500 on my phone. And not SPX 500. I meant Nasdaq. I said it too many times. I was thinking about it too hard. Okay, US 100. Um. Okay, let's see. I like it. I like the stoppage. I like the volume that's coming in at this level. I mean, if it fails, it fails. But I like it. I like it. I do. Okay. Yeah, I like it. I do. But I'm still down like 12K in Bitcoin. I told folks I didn't close. I bought again at 87. Yeah, I'm super down in Bitcoin. But um, okay, where is it? Oh, I'm just kind of slotted in. You guys can see the. I can zoom it in. Yeah, I can see the US 100 entry I have. I hope it. Let me see if I can get it to really focus. So you guys can see well. You guys to be able to actually like see. Oh God, the green screen is not helping at all. Never mind. It's fine. It's all good. I mean, I'm in a wee bit of profit, just a wee bit, just a wee bit, nothing major. It's 917. Um, I know that like so, game plan goes into profit, put stop loss at break even, and then we put stop loss in a little bit of profit before market opens. That's the game plan. Um, as long as we can do that, we'll be good. Selling volume was high going into this, very high. Nobody tried. Everybody was like, "Nope, y'all got it." But let me go while that's doing that. Let's go back and look at some more forex pairs. What's bearish? GBP CAD +7 score. GBP AUD -16. Jesus. Switch. I have to keep switching it. Okay, so this time instead. Okay. No major recent news from the top tier sources. Retail sentiment is neutral, with some traders experiencing GDP strength if the BOE delays cuts the Australian Comedy Week. So let me make sure. I mean, my mic is reacting well as far as I can see, but we'll see. We'll see later exactly how well the sound actually is. I know sometimes if the settings aren't like super good, then the whole thing isn't super good. But um, let me see. So seasonality has it down. Retail sentiment -1. Let me see. Let's go into. Okay, so GDP is a -2. Okay. So there's not like significant news, but I can say off the top of my head that with the fact that we are bullish on EURGBP, partially because of the little drama with the GBP and it just being slightly weaker, and China having been doing well in the past couple of weeks, infrastructure wise, and that gives tailwind to the AU because their economies, I wouldn't say are dependent on each other, but they're intertwined in such a way that that's the case. So let me go take a look at where'd it go? Just went away. Crazy. Um, okay, well, it's fine. I'll just go back to my chart. GBP So let me go on my 4 hour. I'm on my 5 minute. I haven't traded this in a while. This is the last time I traded this way up here. Way up here. Actually, no, I didn't trade it. I was looking for a trade. I was looking for a sell. Oh, that would have been great. This ended up being the entry. I didn't actually trade it. Um, but I was wanting to, and very correct, I guess. I ran. I super duper ran to the downside. Um, Oh wait, no, there was a little buy here. I looked past that. There was a little buy here. I think that was on. I think that was on one of the managed accounts that I managed. That this was November 19th. Yes, that what that was. I think I sent this to the chats actually. But let's get rid of that. Um, super bearish, super bearish. So I mean, we got this, and I think we're at like I think just above a 38% retracement or right around it. Um, yeah, I got a good eye. So I'd like the 50 to get tapped. Honestly, or honestly, anything close to it. And I'll be ready to pull the trigger. I'll be ready to pull the trigger there. Um, let's see. No, wrong one. Um, so now, granted, with the GDP so weak that this we may not get any more of a retracement. This may not even play. And honestly, I want to move it down just a wee bit because we have all of these wicks here, right? And it's so weak, and we don't really want it to push too far or too high. Now, if price just melts from here, then I would just wait until this low is broken and then take a continuation trade to the downside. That's what I'm looking for there. All right, so right now we have a good amount of buying volume. Folks are probably looking to see this range here. So right now it seems to be reaching for the top of this little range here, or if not, creating a new one right here. And in that case, then the bird's eye tool would be a big help in finding our entry. Right now, we're probably just getting a neutral read. Let's see. Oh, we got a slight bearish momentum read. So I could be wrong. I could be wrong because my tool is getting a bearish read. That could mean that we may just melt from here and do. It's not really wrong, I guess, because I said that. May end up just melting from here and getting a continuation trade there. I don't usually just take an instant trade based off of the read, um, but you know, I have a lot of times, and it's not bad. It's just like I like to use it. I like to use it with a little more structure than just taking a trade because it says the momentum is in that direction. Um, but and if I'm waiting, if I'm here and I'm waiting for price to give me an opportunity, then this is not a bad one. It's definitely not a bad one. It's something like that, and then I wouldn't let this run more than this swing high here, and then you know, look for another trade if it doesn't work out here. Um, I like that actually. I like that a lot actually. This is all game plan. Um, Especially with a fresh read on the tool and fresh read on my tool and a super read on the edge finder. That equals a very, very good trade. I'm probably gonna take like a small little risk entry, something small, float there. Um, Pretty soon. I want to see exactly what this price action does on the 15 minute. But like I don't hate this area to sell from. It didn't really like break through or close above this little swing high here. So the bears might just be keeping this down. And I always hate to just miss an entry here, if it's gonna slide anyway. Um so the buying volume is down, diminished, very diminished. Um, it came in and died. So buyers tried, but um, No, US 100 is in a wee bit of profit. If you took that Nas trade, you're in like 300 pips of profit. Um, but GBP AUD. Let's see about it. Let's go to it. Hmm. I like that for an entry. Um, and then I'm probably gonna take one over here too. Honestly, yep. Just a small little one. Just a small little one. Um, now, like I said, it'll be very small. A loss cut probably if it does go and break that high again. Because then if it breaks this high, it's going through this swing high, and that'll give it. Excuse me, that'll give it a little bit of tailwind to jump into this entry here. So, um, market open in 2 minutes. NY open in 2 minutes. We are in wee bits of profit, just a wee bits of profit. Um, Probably put stop losses at break even because that candle breaking up there, and I mean it's about to get wonky. Now put your stop losses at break even. Put your stop losses at break even, and if we get taken out, then I want to see how low it decides to go before we just trade during the open. You know what I mean? Um, Break even. You have like 300 points though. How many points is that? Yeah, you're like over 300 points. So, you know, um, depending on what account you're using, size you're using, leverage you're using, that could be $300, $3,000, $3. But that was a solid trade, um, solid entry, a solid trade. It's not done yet, but definitely a solid entry. Um, so just to have that there. So you understand that if that gets touched, I'll personally be out of the trade and watching for a push to the bottom. Nope. Are we out? Did I get taken out? Yep, I'm out. Okay, all good. A little bit of profit. How much profit? What is it? Got out with $45. Essentially nothing. And it zoomed back. I hate that. Is it gonna wick back? Is it gonna hold? If it's gonna hold, then I'll get back in. But I want to see if it actually does. Um, 15 minute. Um, we just put a vertical line here for this candle because the range it's creating a range that I'm gonna probably trade off of, and then we're gonna get ready to pass it over to Jim to talk to y'all about some stocks. So let's see what this candle will give us. Bullishness, I'm telling you that. but you know, we'll see if it actually holds. Um, but let me go ahead and mark what I believe, what I at least hope to be the bottom of the range to not be touched again, and then mark the top of the range, which is hopefully broken. Um, Microsoft is down. Microsoft is down 2%. Oh no, probably not. Microsoft is down 2%. It may trickle down some more, but I mean, I'm not. I'm never too fixed on getting a Nasdaq entry for the day. If I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't. Um, Let me see here. Is it gonna? Oh, more range. So let me explain what I'm doing here. So for Nasdaq specifically, during the market open, I trade it in a very specific way, and I've been doing this for a very, very, very long time. I think I started trading this specific morning strategy in 2021 or 2022, I believe. And it's basically the 9:30 candle, 9:30 15-minute candle, which is 9:30 9:45, creates a range usually. And it's not. This isn't a strategy that's gonna happen just like this every single morning. No, sometimes it just doesn't happen. Sometimes the play is just not there. But when it's there, it's there. As long as you treat it for what it is. If you try to trade it, if you try to implement this strategy, but then you don't trade it correctly, then you'll just be stuck in a trade all day. So what I'm doing is this right here is the range. If I move this, you can see that this is the range that I'm tracking of this 15-minute candle. So at some point that range is going to get broken, and then price is going to pull back with not too much vigor. We'd like maybe a 38, maybe a little bit more than a 38 on the fib retracement towards this range, and then it's going to trade away from it, and that's essentially what I'm looking to trade here. So what I like is for a when I come down to the 5 minute, well, I like the 3 minute more. I really do. Um, when this decides to break out and actually close above here, I wait for it to trickle for about three, four, maybe five more candles and pull back towards this little area. Now, it doesn't have to pull back all the way into it or anything like that. Just close shot. And I pull the trigger, take a buy, and my stop loss will be roughly in this area here. If this price doesn't continue to hold it up after a breakout to the upside, then I'm getting out because it's likely because that means it's lost the momentum that pushed it up. So it's likely a false breakout. So I'm probably gonna consolidate more or go to the downside. That's traditionally how I've traded it and gone about it. You know, com- Inversely, with sells, just looking for a pullback to the upside to take it downward. But you can kind of get an idea of exactly how I trade it. I'm not super extra rigid about it, but it's like if it's telling you it's not going somewhere, don't wait for it to go there. Yeah. So especially during this time, liquidity is flooding in, and of course you're getting money on both sides, buys and sells, but for the most part, the winner tends to prevail, over here. If it's gonna buy for the day, it's usually gonna hold some levels around here, at least in my own experience. Now, of course, it's Nasdaq. It's very volatile. It may do a crazy wick all the way down here and then buy up crazy. That can definitely happen. But you know, um, why hold all the BS? I can just wait for it to actually get a closure above this area, and not be holding a bunch of extra drawdown or anything like that. So and that's why I trade it, because if I already have a bias overall on the asset, and the opening range doesn't, if the breakout of that opening range isn't in that direction, yeah, I generally don't even want to trade it as much, and I definitely trade it a lot, you know, less risky. I definitely take smaller entries when it's if it's I'm taking it against my overall bias, but you know my overall bias doesn't mean that the price is always going to go in that direction. You know what I mean? I'd be remiss if I just cut myself off from trading, you know, against my own bias. The price is actually telling me, what it's doing here. But we are bullish, and we are consolidating pretty tight. It's 9:38, and we haven't really gone anywhere. Haven't really gone anywhere. 9:45. Um, Let me go back and move this back. Oops. Let me do that. Trying to grab that. Nope. Still doesn't let me grab it. Okay. There we go. Yes. Yes. All right. I'm gonna keep tracking this range. But I think this range is pretty solid. I don't think it's going to break out of this range until after 9:45, and I'll be watching it on my end. You guys need to watch on yours. I'm about to pull in Jim and hand it over to him so he can talk about some stocks, maybe elaborate some more on whatever movement that Nasdaq is going to give up for the next 30 45 minutes. Let me pull you in here. Hey, Jim.
Hey, you guys hear me?
Yeah, I'm
We
pretty sure.
good?
Yeah. Just kind of getting you slotted over here. And then,
Okay. Yeah. Can you guys, as long as you guys can hear me and we're good. All right. Good to go. Sorry. Yeah. Moving a little bit slower than I would. I'm getting into one of our morning trades, and it's okay. Anyhow, I'm in here looking at one of my morning trades was MDB, which is a big mover yesterday on earnings, was up $70 and change initially. Made a new high, traded as high as 420 maybe, no, damn near 420, 419 and change. But the way things I do things in the morning, sometimes it came out as a short for me because it did not go out. It went out the toward the bottom of its range from yesterday, and you can see that. And then see it's progressed down a bit more from then. Trade as low as 396 and change, coming up a bit. But in spite of the fact that it had been up yesterday, I do in fact have it as a short this morning. Mind you, a guarded short, as in I'm up around 417 or so for a relative strength trade, and that is good to 11 or so in the morning. You're gonna find I do a bunch of morning trades and do for a relative strength strategy and uh, reversion strategy, which is good all day on the stocks that I follow, and specifically as well stocks that are in the news this morning. Some of which we'll check right now before we go back into the relative strength stuff. Again, I apologize. I think we're a little bit slow for some reason, but I'll figure this out. We had Macy's this morning with earnings, and waiting for it to come up, but I see Macy's on my other screen is trading 22.39, about a buck away or so away on the short side in Macy's. I'm looking to short at 23.56. Willing to purchase it 18.98, and we're still waiting for the stuff, but it's okay. Bear with. But Macy's can be a good mover on an earnings day, and here we go. See that big move here? That's something indicative of an earnings kind of trade. You get a snapback, and it did not go down as far as I wanted it to, but you get a quick snapback. Again, 22.49 right now. I'm at 23.56 to short it. Got up as high as 22.90. Not quite to where I wanted to see it to get shorted, but I was anticipating a quick snap even into positive territory, then a flip back into some kind of mean reversion there. But that's a gist of a morning move there, and I see it's coming in a bit more, but we'll see. I can flip over to Marvell, and maybe this thing will move a little bit better for me. So I hope at least anyway. TikTok, not good at like things moving slowly here, but Marvell, seeing trade 99.60 away here. Price things out way, way, way wider than typical ranges and such on an earnings day. Didn't have awesome range yesterday, but gapped up this morning. Looking to short it way higher, 114.41. Willing to pay 91.22, which would be some kind of consolidation back down at here. So nothing exciting there. GTLB, GitLab. Again, we're just flipping through these right now, seeing what's going on. I'm checking my other screen at the same time, checking my phone screen. So I'm be doing stuff from there. Okay, Marvell. We were just talking about GitLab here. It's down a bit, 36.43. Waiting on it. Here we go. All right, 36.40 or so on GitLab. Looking to buy at 33.15 initially. Adding to that bit, when I get into something long or short, I'm segmenting in on purpose. Don't ever want to overcommit or anything like that. Bit me in the ass before doing those kind of things. So, one learns and moves on from there. So GitLab fading a bit, has been as high as 38.79. Going over to Box, another earnings. These news stocks today were all earnings stocks. So waiting on Box in the meantime. Checking it here, my other source, Box trading 32.05, so up a little bit. And I got to get it out there right now because I was 31.31. Okay, I'm shorting Box 32.05 right here. Okay, just shorted at 32.05. So it's actually above my limit. So that's fortuitous for me, I guess. And what we're going to see when it shows up is we're going to see one of those snapback situations, which in this case got me short. Okay, I was willing to short it a bit lower, by about 60 cents or so. So we'll see if it's really fortunate for me or not. Oh, that's still GitLab there. Okay, we're looking at Box right here, 32.06. Okay, there we go. Okay, so initial idea to short it here was right down around here, but again, got more out of it than we figured. So I'm short right around here. I'm short 32.05 right now, and just flipping through. I want to see next price for me as far as shorting it. Okay, just going off my price list. I have a big list here. I do things off a spreadsheet, long and short, and okay, off of this next price, I'm going to go for 32.57. After that, 33.17. All right, so I get hang on, two other prices out there. Looking to short it 32.57, and then if need be 33.17. That wouldn't be very good for me, but these things happen. Sometimes my better trades wind up being ones that wind up going like that. So Box in there right now. short a little bit, a couple of cents away. Not a big deal yet. CrowdStrike had earnings as well. CRWD. Taking a look right now, and I apologize for this. Yeah, slow this morning, but we'll deal with that. We'll correct it. This is the first time out, so bear with. CrowdStrike trading 492. Well, 494 now. So moving, decent mover today. Been as low as 486, which is kind of a bummer because I was 484.79 for it. And that's close enough today where I'm going to have to pull that. I'm going to have to go lower if it gets back down that direction. Reason being, as you'll see in a sec, when we see CrowdStrike here, is that it traded as low as 486.30. Uh, my first potential purchase here was going to be 44.79. Got down near there, got what I wanted almost, but we're not playing horseshoes here. And then ran up to 500 and change. I mean, that would have been a lovely, lovely trade there, but didn't happen. Not close. So I'll be lower. I got gonna have to check where I'm at next. Let me do this right now. Then crowd was 44.79. Reason being, I'm going lower is because next time we're going to get penetration through there, where typically we do because traded there, and I just from my experience have seen it go through before. So it was 44.79. Flipping through my choices here, I'm going to be 481.89. So 481.89 for CrowdStrike. In this case, just a small trade. It's a $500 stock. So this I'm doing 100 shares at a time. I mean, do it, figure it in as you want. Think of it in terms of biggest trade. Most I want to be long or short, and base it off of that. Kind of go from there. That would work. Let me go to AEO. We got it here. American Eagle Outfitters had earnings as well. See what I have it as. We're waiting on it. I have it on my order screen here. Trading 2404. Okay, so I'm a bit away there. I'm thinking 2085 to purchase it at 2679 for my first short, and not really there, not really impact there. I want to go to Pure Storage, PSTG. Had earnings today, was down this morning. See what we're at there right now as we wait on it. Okay, and we got Pure Storage trading right around $70. We're not quite there for it yet. I'm thinking like 66 and change there. So Pure Storage a bit away, but I'm gonna get something in there now. Just have something in there. Let me find a price that's going to work here for me in Pure Storage. Again, a lot of times we'll see this kind of move on an earnings day, and ideally I want to be right in my assessment where I'm going to get some kind of a up move in there at that point. So I'm going to go 65.95, which is going to be a bit away here, but putting in and not out of the realm here, but not quite there yet. I have certain stocks that I typically follow and others that I'm just picking up because of what's going on in the news on that day. So that's why I'm involved there. I'm just going to go through my list now, and if we have anything that's relevant, we'll mention them. Actually, I should probably mention my other stocks here. IBM this morning is one that I follow that I have as a short this morning. See what's going on here. Trading just below triple par, trading just below 300. Was out there 309 as a short, and again based upon the move. So what we're going to do is, just continue to keep an eye on it. And these things that were good for this morning are good till 11 o'clock or so. These relative strength plays. So saying here, okay, so saying from drip, we're going to cut things around. Uh, Cut things around 10:30 this morning, so we can get like uh, things done, and maybe if things merit it, maybe we'll get back in after that. Just have to make a little technical adjustment here. Waiting on IBM here, not moving on this chart super fast. I'm gonna have to fix this by Friday when I'm back. But IBM, we didn't have much going on there. ILNQ, while waiting on IBM, I'll reapproach IBM in a sec. ILNQ, we see IBM right there, 299. Just waiting on the chart. There we go, 299 there. See, it did come off, so there definitely was weakness there, but I was looking for a pop. I was looking for some kind of snap back there, and knowing IBM the way it can move, was kind of playing it that way. Didn't quite get it. IonQ, again, these quantum computing stocks have been big movers, within the past 3 months or so, and have come in, decent amount, which makes them more tradable as far as size goes. Ranges have kind of fizzled a little bit lately. I still think play things kind of wide here. So we see IonQ trading 46.85. I was 51.09 for first short this morning. Still being really, really careful here. I don't want to get run over on these moves. It's better to take the high side a lot of times. Just be smart about it. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. I want to revisit MongoDB here. And I see right away, I see it's trading 404.76. Okay, so it's indicative of the kind of moves it can make. Been as high as 411. Again, I'm at 417.35. Let me make sure I have that in. I don't want to be missing that. And that's going to be a small trade in MDB, because I don't want to be missing it. I want at least something in there. And I'm going to be wide. I'm going to probably be like $5 out on my next piece. You see there from this morning, made that move. So it wasn't a bad call on my part here, really, in that, you know, got that pop. I wanted to see it up here, not out of the realm the way it had moved the prior day. And then it faded. So yeah, that initial weakness, that weakness rather from the way it went out yesterday continued to happen. So pat myself, on the back for a fairly decent call. But again, it's not a situation where playing horseshoes, close doesn't count. We're in this stuff to make money, obviously. So it is what it is. We move on and deal, and it's not. It's still got more than an hour, so there's plenty of time here to get for things to happen. I want to take a look at RKT, Rocket Finance, Rocket Mortgages, etc., that kind of thing. For a stock in the teens, it can be a pretty good mover. You get some decent bang for your buck there. Trade around $20, as you'll see in a sec or two, or hopefully you see in a second or two. There's a moving been as high as 2016, but I have it way the heck up at 2092. I just want to visit it here. Not great range today. Here we go. Yeah, just a little bit of a blip up and nothing super going on there. Rocket companies, think of this Rocket Mortgage, that kind of thing. Also had Sunrun, RUN, solar company, as a short this morning. Again, a kind of a careful short because, again, for a stock in the teens, it can move a decent amount. Trading 1752, 1753 now. Okay, and becoming relevant to me on the long side, but not not quite yet, but it has my attention. Here we go. There we got that quick move down there. Going to be a bit more away there. I am 1685 for it this morning, but I probably should get something in there. Well, I have a second. Okay. 1685. Again, this is going to represent an initial purchase here for me in Sunrun. Okay, put it in 1685. Again, I'm pro. I'm not prone. I'm constantly legging in. I'm not overcommitting. I have a final amount in mind. So just be aware of that, and don't overcommit. Overcommitting, has always been kind of bad thing for me, because anytime you try to do something like that, it seems like it's bye bye. Want to revisit Pure Storage and see where we're at here. Again, it's stock I typically follow. Last time I have been following it since the last time it had earnings in September, right around Labor Day or so, just after. And it's been a decent mover, so I want to see what's going on there. And I see it right around 70. We don't have it on here yet, showing up yet, but low is 69. And like I said, we're 66, well, just under, right around 66 for it. And you see, we're finally seeing some green here. And I'm curious to see what kind of snapback we'll get. So, or maybe this green is slow to still be there. But again, it's a good mover. I've stayed with it because it had decent ranges on non-earnings days and stuff. And I actually thought the stock would be around 110 or something this morning, the way it had been moving. But it's come in, and makes it interesting, because I think this is right around the levels that it gapped up to when when the earnings first came out 3 months ago. I mean, obviously it's been higher. It's moved up. It's been a steady mover in the last quarter, and it's gotten up to $100 or so. But now it's at a point. We'll see if it holds here. It's kind of curious. I mean, I'm looking for it a little bit lower, but definitely within this proximity kind of thing. So we'll see what happens with it today. I want to visit Nvidia, which is Trip mentioned as bellwether. Now I follow it. I'm not trading it this morning, but I want to see what's going on. I can always crunch it out later on if we see some movement. We saw about $5 worth of range yesterday, and it's not. I'm doing stuff for minutes a lot of times, so I want to see some more movement there. Consistent as heck. You know, Great mover. Was watching it the other day after the earnings came out, and my thought was it's going to be negative, and sure enough, it went negative. What happened to the market? The whole market went down. So with that, I mean, since then we've rallied. That was 2 weeks ago, because last Thursday was it was going back 13 days when those earnings came out. But the stock got up to like 196 or something like that. Pre-market, rather aftermarket, after the earnings came out after the bell that prior day, and it was in 195s. It came into let's say 180 or so. So it's right around where it's been for that. Looking at Bitcoin, it's been been back up from 2 days ago when it was trading 84,000. Actually, I thought we're going to wake up on Monday morning and see Bitcoin at 92,000. Here it is at 92,000 and change. So I guess it really doesn't matter. And I still don't get it. If you guys get Bitcoin, help me out with it, because I don't get it. Okay, I honestly don't get it. All right, I don't trade it, and I don't trade the tracking stock because I don't get it. Being honest here, all right. And there are many smarter than me who I'm sure have done very well in it. I'm just getting through here with equities, doing the best I can here, for goodness sake. Trying. I want to revisit box here to see what we have going on. Okay, and I see it's been to 32, been as high as 32.72. So we did pick up an extra piece of box, and right now it's trading 32.31. and I just 32.34 now, and I just got rid of a portion of it, 32. So I bought back a portion of it, 32.34, just to lessen my position a little bit. And it's not going awesome. It's not going badly. Be nice if it actually shows up here for us. But I see it trading 32.32. So I started to pull. Initially I shorted it 32.05, another chunk 32.57. Next piece would be 33.17. Uh, just covered a bit 32.34. Still have a fairly decent position out there as we go TikTok, waiting on this stuff, and I will fix this stuff for everyone on by Friday. I will immediately after this. That's probably why we'll only go to like 10:30 or so, because I should not be this slow. I'm going to have to redo some of this stuff, and it's just tremendously annoying. But bear with. I'm going to continue to talk to you guys while we're doing this. Trying to get box on here. It's annoying. Here we go. Finally. All right. So we see what's going on here. We have this made this move. Now we're getting some sideways, and that's not exactly what I want to see here. Okay, that's why I start to take some back. All right, because I'd like to see it pull in a bit. So when I see it slow, that's not as good a thing. All right, we're doing a little bit of sideways here. Would have loved to see some kind of snapback down to 31 or something like that. In that we get this run up, get me short. Awesome. That's part one. Part two is I want to see it pull back. I want to see it come back there, come back in. Now I got a blank screen, though that sounds good. Anyway, so point being is have not seen what I wanted to see yet there, but got time. It's not a horrible trade right now. I just wanted to see a quick move back. Not exactly seeing that. As far as our other earnings stuff goes, we got crowd trading 500. And again, that was a bummer, to revisit crowd for a second. Again, congrat myself on a decent call. My crowd show up here for us. Like I said, it's trading now 501.30. Came in as low as 486 and change. 46.30 was the number. I was 44.79 for it. When I say for it, means I was looking to buy at 44.79. Again, close but no cigar. And that was in the first part of this morning. Typically, you see the biggest moves, in news situations or earnings situations within the first 15 minutes or so, or even the first half hour. You see big moves then. And sure enough, we got that. Look, got down to 46.30. Then we see this tremendous rise up above 500. You know, those are the kind of things that you live for. Again, I didn't get it, but that's the kind of move that you want to see there, in that you get a quick pop in this case, and a nice profit there with very, very little risk, in that you weren't in it for a long time. Time is risk very off. So again, I'm more about monitoring things and checking, and even changing my mind. I can be very swift to move in or out. I don't have to like overthink something, or anything like that. But it's nice to get a quick pop, a quick move like that. I mean, that just make things better, and start the day with some kind of profit, some kind of move there. Just worth mentioning. Uh, what else am I seeing? I wanted to take a look at RGC this morning. It's not relevant today. I mean, it had been a big mover before it split some ridiculous amount way back when in the summertime. And I'll tell you what I saw in it yesterday for a specific reason. We're just waiting for it to show up, and it's actually way off from me this morning because I was 980 for it. Believe it or not, it's not a big volume stock. I can tell you that today's volume is 82,000 shares, and the average volume, if we look down here, is I got today's volume missing average volume there. They don't have it in there yet, but it's about 120,000 average volume. Yesterday average volume when I took a look at it after it had this run up, the volume was right around 300,000. So going off of that, I got long around 1250 and spat it out $13, 12.98, and 12.60 or so. Probably somewhere in here. In that I was long at 12.50 and didn't want to, had made basically a half a buck on two-thirds of my position and didn't want to give up that profit. So made a decision that I was going to get out if it got near 12.60 or so, and that's in fact where I wound up getting out. We see it's up 10% today, and I'm not. I don't even have a short price out there because, again, I don't want to get run over. I know what the stock's capable of. If we look at the range here, this is post ridiculous split, post like 34 and split or something like that, when it was impossible to borrow. I'm not even sure if I could borrow it now, to tell you the truth, but the stock went to 83. Since then, it's really quieted down. I gotta say, it's really quieted down, and it's a crazy stock. I mean, if you're someone who wants to hold it and be patient, probably not a bad spot to do that. It's not my thing, so I'm not recommending that. I don't like having positions anymore overnight. Sleep much better that way. Don't sleep great as it is, but do that. Janex, which had some news yesterday, another bio stock. I forget the name of Janex Therapeutics, had some bad news yesterday. Stock was down. Stock is bouncing this morning after making a new low. Was kind of close yesterday in that it traded as low as 1570 something. It was 1545 for it yesterday, but you know what? It was late in the day when it actually happened, and I'm not going to be huge on getting in after 3:30 or so. There's not enough time for some kind of reversal, that kind of thing. So usually I let it go. I mean, it's a rare situation where I'll look to get into something at 3:30 when knowing that I'm going to want to be flat, by at the bell. So that's why I'm following it again today. Not a lot going on here. It's up. It's got a buck's worth of range. It's up a little bit. Where did I say for it this morning? I said 1350 for it this morning because I didn't have a clue. I mean, quite honestly, just trying to base it on yesterday's move and the market action there. So I based on that, figured I'd give it a go. I think I'll probably get rid of it. Stop following it after after today because I do follow a decent amount of stocks in general, probably like 20, 25 plus whatever I add during the earnings period. So back to that. Do I want to go back and see Box? Now, Box is still hanging 32, 34. We're not going to revisit that. Anything relevant here? PSTG coming back a little bit. Let's see if there's some green there. Again, I'm not, not involved here, but yeah, we did finally see some green. The low was 69, 68 and change, something like that. Again, I do follow this stock. I think it's a good trading stock. It's interesting. 69.04 we have seen as a low there. Bounced back 2 points or so. Still down a lot on the day after the earnings came out. Could it fill? I probably won't fill, but I know stranger things have happened. Seeing some green, so it's kind of turning. Maybe we'll see some kind of consolidation here. Curious about that. One of the stocks I do follow a lot, again, one of my bang for buck stocks is another solar stock, Solar Edge, which has really bounced back nicely from its lows. This is not, we still have poor storage here. We've seen Solar Edge here, though, on the chart. Okay, so we got it right around 31 and change right now. This morning I said 28.64. Can have big moves. I mean, I've seen it have $6 up moves, from the 30s into the 40s. Has come back from the summer. I mean, it was in the summertime, traded down as low as 11. So obviously it moves. It's been, recently it's been as high as 48 and change. So good mover, price it out farther than you think. I give you an example. I have it 28.64 for it as my initial purchase. I'm at 39.20 to short it. I mean, that's not relevant this morning, but again, it was here. So looking at it around 33 or so this morning, was thinking, could it get up there? Heck yes. So that's why I was there. Other solar stocks, First Solar, not doing a heck of a lot. Uh, Enphase, if I can find Enphase. Enphase is another one I follow. That and Sunrun. Sunrun, like I said, I embellish on that a bit. Enphase is not doing what it used to be doing. It's not seeing those moves there anymore. Intel this morning has that as my only relative strength long, but I was 41.73 for it. I was a bit away, quiet again, although it did make a new high. So that's interesting. As high as 43.98. I'm looking to short it way the heck up, way away, 46.27, because things happen with especially with Intel. You know what a stock it was until we started to talk about investments and stuff. And after Intel, I'm going to broach Oracle and the way it's come in. But again, waiting on Intel here. Again, trading 43.31, off a little bit on the day, and we can see it here. Made a new high, then came off pretty fast, but was not going to get involved that close. Okay, going to Oracle because this is one that's really, really come off. They're worried about credit default swaps and stuff like that. What does that take us back to? 2008, eek. But worried about the credit and stuff. I mean, the stock was as high as 349 or something like that as we come into this. You can see Oracle here. Going back to September, remember being shorted up there, being 345. Remember being shorted at 330s and 340s, making okay money there, which is good. Gee, all I had to do was hold it for 3 months, right? Would have made 100 points. Good job, Jim. Pat myself on the back now. But has come off a heck of a lot since then, obviously. The gap when it first went up, it gap from 250. I thought 250 was going to be a spot rather, that would show support. Nope. Went through there like forget it, and has been, on that day when NVIDIA reversed, the day after earnings, I think it was down as low as 177 or so, if I remember correctly. Since then, it's bounced back with the rest of the market. So that's interesting. But, things still move. Nothing is quantified. Not all these guys, the NVIDIAs, the Palantirs, maybe the AMDs or the Microns. Let's check Micron now, see what's going on. Some of these guys are going to be around and be okay. Some of these guys, if any of you guys were around for like the .com things, we got a lot of names that were very successful that might have come off a bit, but stuck around, and a lot of names went bye-bye. So let's see who sticks around after all this AI stuff. How many guys can we have in the crowd here? Who's going to be, the real winners? Just saying. Okay, Micron here we got. No, that ain't Micron. That's still the other. Here we go. We got the Micron chart, but looking at Oracle still there. Okay, so Micron came in initially and is starting to rally back. Been some really good moves here. Again, $200 stock, so I'm not trading a lot of shares, but like the moves have been consistent. IBM hasn't been making the same kind of moves it was since, they mentioned stuff after the earnings came out a month or so ago. Like I said, Intel kind of inconsistent. Even Palantir. Let's visit Palantir this morning. Just to look at the chart, I can tell you not a heck of a lot of movement, but take a quick glance here. Palantir has been a star, obviously. Remember, it was low as 80 in April when, the world was ending because of tariffs. Hopefully some of you guys are buy and hold types, bought some stock, some of these stocks then, because you would have done really, really well in them. Low is not, that encompasses the year low, so it's not going to be as low as 80 or so going back to last April. But, it's been real good. Has, surpassed 200, has pulled back with a lot of these names, but, on the whole, over the course of a year, wow. What can you say? I want to take a look at PG to see if it's done anything today, because it pissed me off the other day. So I'm still trying to trade it. I'm gonna have to get rid of it because it had a big move on earnings day, made a new low, and I was in it a couple of times. I think I wound up losing a little bit of money. Following it to see if I pick it up a little bit cheaper than when I got out of it a couple of days ago. Monday, no, it was Friday. It was actually Friday. It was actually there. That was one of the few stocks I traded that day because it had earnings on a short day, but haven't seen the same kind of move. So I don't know. I don't know if I can stay in it. I need things that move. Really, I need things that move, and even if there's stocks that I follow, I don't necessarily trade them every day. An example might be Biontech's the VAC stock, which obviously years ago when things were moving, this and Moderna and Novavax were moving as well, but ranges haven't been the same. There are times I traded, but yesterday I had about a $2 and change range, so it was not worthwhile to me to get involved this morning. And you can see not a heck of a lot going on here, buck and a half or so, not super duper there. Do I want to go to back to box? No, box is still not doing it. Anything? Okay, let's go to box anyway. And again, time for me is risk. So sitting here looking at this going across, not enjoying this. Haven't seen much of a snapback. Got a little bit there, taking some off, but I already took some off right around here. So I'd like to see more here. Willing to hang in the game. I'm at about, it took a little bit off. I'm like basically, with my two positions, I'm basically break even. Oh, here we go. It's a little bit higher, right? What, of course, as soon as I say that, here we go. Row. No, be fine either way. So just keep there what's going on. And I could say, yay, 32.17, 32.21. It's supposed to go raw, whatever. Uh, but sticking with, even though we've been hanging with position now for about a half hour or so, a little more than a half hour. Not ideal. You know what? 32.22 taken. All right, just took a little bit more back off of that one. Again, just trying to manage risk a bit. Okay, took a bit more off, and now it kind of gets me into a trade. I could start trading around it some, and that if it does tick up some more and gets near my former high level, maybe I'll short some more. Okay, maybe start to play the range base. Try to make some money in this range, knowing that I have a position down here. I positioned down here, what, 32, 32.05. And I was lucky here. Okay. I was really lucky in that I got caught up in a couple other things and I missed it going up. So I didn't have an order in. I think my initial thing here was 31.31 or something like that. So that would be a situation where I would have had to cover something like right around here. Use this and cover some stuff, take advantage of that, that kind of piece there. Get something back. Anyway, so we're sitting with, and maybe I'll try to trade this range. If it doesn't break out, I should take a look at what the high. All right, the high is 38.80. That's not really relevant. That's not like reaching for it. But we did get this run up from negative, into a fairly decent gainer on an earnings day. So makes it interesting. Let's go back to pure storage and see what's going on there. Again, didn't quite get it, but was acting a little bit better. Um, Background $70. So yeah, there's hope for me here. Getting some kind of position. It did get as high as 72 to trade there. Yeah, 72.19 there. So it got back above 72. Now it's coming in. Is it going to be range based now? Are we going to see some consolidation here? Maybe. Okay. Again, not really relevant. I'd like to see it dip a little bit more, get me long. But again, this is, right around here, 69.70 or so was kind of a big number from the last time it had earnings and kind of gap from there. So just something I remember or try. I think I remember. Maybe I'm totally off base there. Should check out our MTB situation, and I'm seeing it's 402. Never got past 411. It wasn't a great call on my part in that I was at 417, got up almost to 412. So it did shoot up. Even yesterday, the range, after it gapped about $70 or so, the range on the day was only like $20 or so. If you see that, from 419 to 399, it's right around $20. So not tremendous there as far as range for the stock, especially on an earnings day. I mean, I it was up around 450 yesterday. Even though it was making new highs. I mean, I was looking for it to make a new high by like another $30 or so. Wow. But knowing the stock, knowing it can be crazy and had been crazy at lower prices, kind of had to be there, just comfort wise, that kind of thing. Anything going on? My other relative strength stocks from this morning: CoreWeave, nope. IBM, nope. MDB mentioned. Rocket, make a bad joke and say Rocket not exactly taking off. No, $20. All right, so not a lot going on there. So one position on short box. Nothing else super exciting going on. Sometimes I look for within the stocks I trade, looking for reversals, that kind of thing. Sunrun, we got 1768. Taking a look at Sunrun here. Again, we're going to go. I'm going to cut it a little bit short today because I want to fix some things, but going to anticipate, and I think Drip wants to make some kind of adjustment too. So I'm going to cut it around 10:30 or so because I think we're gonna time out or something. But run still have some time left, and 1764. I'm thinking 1685, but it looks like again we have this consolidation here. Now I'm looking for the down move to start to get me long there. And again, I like the range in this stock because it can vary. A lot of times it varies. It wasn't great yesterday. Look at this, tight, 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 tight all the way through it. Uh, but tradable in that you get moves and you get snapbacks. Even this wasn't bad. I mean, to make 30 or 40 cents here, it's not a bad thing. It's not. I wanted to see more there, but didn't see it. I want to go to AI. Okay, AI. If you asked me about AI years ago, I would say, yeah, he was an awesome basketball player, but he's been retired for a few years. I know, being very punny, but C3 AI is one of the few AI stocks I've been following for a long time. And you see, it's been last year around this time, it was trending higher. It was around $45 or so. Has come in. Is this guy going to be around? I don't know. That's why I wouldn't look to hold it, even though it's cheap. I do price it wide because it can be a mover. This morning was 1307 for it at 1631. Short it. So you can see that I'm careful with it. Do we have a new high in Apple? Is it creeping higher? Did we get a new high? Yeah, we did get a new high in Apple, but slow. I followed because it's Apple, and again, it's a bellwether. Like the same thing you do with Nvidia, Microsoft. I don't follow. Palantir follow. Been following since we've had the moves. Been following AMD. Been following Micron. Been following Oracle. Uh, been following the quantum computing stocks. Well, at least three of them. Been following IONQ. Been following G Wave QBTS. Been following Rigetti because we've seen nice moves there. Again, not things have quieted down in them, but I think they'll be back. They were staples in that you could get them. There's some days you got them long and short. I mean, you're seeing those kind of moves, which is tremendous. But not quite seeing them anymore. So kind of a bummer. But watching again, look for what's standing out. Want to mention SRPT Sarepta. Taking a quick look here. Earnings came out. Stock went down again. Look at this here today. Oof. Nice move up. Do I have it as long this morning? No, I was. You know what? A bummer, but I was 1860. Was 1864, so not enough to get me long, but was as low as 10 in the summer. Then it came into 15. It bounced. Another stock right up there with RGC as far as looking to short it. I'm not aggressive there at all. Did I even try to short it this morning? I was thinking 25.55, which hey, I could get there. Stranger things have happened. Hopefully, it's overdone by that if it in fact does it. But the thought of being short here kind of scares me, especially here. Well, I'm not going to short it here, 54 cents on the day, but it's scary. Looking back at that Janek stock, yeah, it's got a box here. See if I want to start trading it again. What do we got going on? Yeah, we got 32.38. So again, consolidating here. What are we going to get? We're going to get continuation to the upside, which would be a little bit on the crappy side for me, even though I've taken some back. Or we're going to get reversal. We're going to get consolidation reversal back to here, which would be just ducky for me. Big words there, Jim, right? So that would be a good thing for me, obviously. Things coming in. Would I look to get out of some of this stuff? Yeah, I'd look, if I get a buck out of some of this stuff, that'd be real good. I've been taking some stuff off. Looks like we're getting to the top of the range here. So some decision making coming up. Do I want to short some stuff, on the top edges of these things? Could we even call that, resistance there? I don't know. I'll probably do something here, considering I've taken some stuff off lower and give it a go. Maybe around 30. Been as high as 32.72, so maybe around 32.65. Those kind of levels, just to do something again. Looking to make money day to day here. So that's the focus up to 47. Okay, I do have at last leg up there 33.17. So getting interesting 32.59. Maybe I should stick something out there. I'm going to say 32.68. All right, I got a bit out there, 32.68, and we'll see. And that's that stock that I was short. I'm considering that stock I was short prior. That I flipped out of some when it came in a bit. So we'll see what happens there. And again, not seeing this consolidation, not what I was looking for necessarily, because I wanted to see some retracement. Didn't see a heck of a lot of that. There, it's been up, stay up, playing that kind of game, which is kind of a yawner. And this is, month of December so far has been kind of a yawner for me, in that Monday was a non-day. Tuesday was yesterday. I did that RGC trade, but kind of made it happen. Saw something and went outside the box for me, and made that happen. Today, we got this box going on. We got PSTG. It's going to be relevant again. I don't know. It's right around 70. Let me check on the screen here. What do we got? 69-ish. Yeah, right around 70. So basically holding that, right around 70, that number there. So we'll see what happens there. I'm pretty much going to leave you guys again. Quick thing. Probably go from right on the open till 11 or so on Friday. If you have any questions, can email me at jgre910@gmail.com. It's J small letters, jgre910@gmail.com. Happy to talk about anything, the weather, the whatever. I'm actually in Brooklyn right now, typically in Vermont, where they get a lot of snow, but down in Brooklyn visiting and missing the snow. To get rain yesterday. That was fun. All right, I'm going to be out. Okay, have a good afternoon. Trade well, and we'll talk more on Friday. Take care.